What's up, YouTube in America and everywhere in the world? Antone Burbage here with BC Timbers, and if you guys remember one of our videos 2 years ago, I kind of gave you a rundown of what this whole operation here in Malad City, Idaho was all about. And it's been 2 years, guys. I'm gonna give you a quick update on where we're at, what we're doing, and hopefully open your eyes to some cool stuff that we got going in the shop. So stay tuned. So guys, I'm excited to show you kind of what's been going on. If you look, we started out the video out in this same location and there was no driveway. You might think that the driveway isn't a big deal, but a couple of storms we had in the winter, our trucks couldn't even get into the shops. And so, yeah, driveways are a big deal. We had to come in, excavate all the dirt and put down, it's called slag, big rock, and then gravel over that. So we had a lot of good people helping us out with that. And my eyes were open thinking, man, we're just gonna put in a little driveway to the shop and not a big deal. And then as soon as winter hit, holy crap. Freeze thaw, freeze thaw, freeze thaw, freeze thaw. Well, that isn't a good recipe for a solid road, that's for sure. So if you notice in the background, you gotta, so when you're a timber framer in Malad, you gotta have a motocross track. And we do now have a motocross track. I think that more than anything is what kind of has kept me sane for the last few years. Get a little stressed out, get a little antsy, get on the bike, go burn some laps, and it's awesome. I love it. As you can see, our alfalfa, this is the third summer being here. Our alfalfa's growing, we're on our third crop. We're farming. I said in my last video we'd have farm animals. Well, we now have 30 some odd chickens, lay a lot of eggs, give us a lot of protein, and we give a lot of eggs away. And we've also been doing cows, which cattle is awesome. We got all these fields just full of grass, and the cows eat that down, and oh, we got to water them and keep them fed in the winter. And man, they keep us fed like no other. That good meat is what it's all about. So 2 years ago, when I sat down with the guys and I said, this is the place, we're gonna have our operations here, they got a little nervous. It was just farmland, field. We had this red building behind me, but didn't really have a good place to work. No cement floor out in front of the shop, no awning for shade or when it rained to be protected from the elements. And lighting, electrical was a big issue. We had it, we have access to it, just not in the building. So we had to upsize all our electrical panels, and that was no small feat at all. And we had to fly into action to make that happen. So now you can see we've got this nice big awning. We've got some bright lighting. So when we're working out here, in the winter time, it gets dark early, dark in the morning early, and it makes a huge difference for our work environment. And this shop is still our specialty wood shop. This is where we do all our live edge signs, our live edge tables, flattening. If we're doing any kind of finished carpentry work, we're still doing that here. You know, this is kind of where I like to hang out. This is where I get creative, and we make some cool stuff. And man, we got so many cool projects in the works, and I'm excited for what's ahead of us because we're gonna make some cool, awesome treehouse I'm thinking of, and a lot of other stuff. So stay tuned. This particular tool is called a slab miser. It's actually built by Wood-Mizer. Love this tool. We use this for our big wood slabs, and we flatten those down. I can flatten the tabletop anywhere from 12 inches on up to 54 inches wide by 14 feet. And so this thing moves around like a router head on the material. You attach the wood to the table, and then this will move around up and down, up, back and forth over the material, take all the highs out until it's totally flat and level and crisp. And this is a cool machine. So it makes light work for all our tables, our slabs, our signs that we transfer over to the CNC table. I can do 4 foot by 8 foot at a time, and it's a Maverick by Legacy Machinery, and I believe they're down in Utah. And this machine it's pretty cool for what we're doing. I haven't even scratched the surface. I know this machine will probably do a lot more than what we're using it for, which makes it exciting. You know, when you have a tool that is capable of doing way more than what you're doing with it, you know, the sense of, oh, I know it exists and I want to figure it out. And what do I got to do to figure it out? And there's probably somebody out there that can help me with this particular tool and say, dude, this thing will do 3D, this, that, the other, and you're only tapping into a portion of it. So we love the CNC. We've done a lot of cool stuff with it. We've made parts for tree houses, signs for businesses, signs for families in the area and all over. And it's kind of a little piece that we use to really make our timber framing projects more niche and more custom. Because when you give a pergola, or you're selling a pergola or a pavilion, and it has a custom sign made that says, welcome to the Burbage household, or welcome the Burbages, or whatever you want it to say, but it just gives it a little more custom feel. And that's mainly what we've been using it for. So when we first looked at this building, if you go back, there was dirt floor in this, and we just used this to store a lot of our stuff that we were bringing up from Syracuse, the Syracuse house. And it was full of junk, had no floor, had no wiring, had no insulation, had no doors. So we got that done. We now use these 2 bays for our weld shop area. Anything that needs to be fabricated, any machinery that needs to be fixed, any metal bracket that needs to get fabricated, we'll do it in these bays. And it's Parker's day off, but Parker is our fabricator and he does awesome. So if you come see us out here in beautiful Malad Valley, you just have a sit down with us in the office before we go and look at your project, pick out stain, pick out design. And in my previous video, or my first video, we talked about the tack shed. And I don't know if we actually showed you what the tack shed looked like, but we've been kind of updating this to work out of. It's an old Connex box. Looks like an old beer cooler, and we turned it into a place that we can do a little work out of, which has been great. Got AC in it for those hot summer nights or summer days. Okay, as I walked up to this building that we're now gonna kind of look at and take a tour of, there was a bunch of gates and corrals here for the horses that the guy stored in this building. And so obviously now this is all changed. We've excavated a ton, brought in gravel, brought in fill to bring this up and make this nice and solid for our forklifts to run over. So this area was a hay barn. This whole building was open. All it had was poles, no walls in between, no shop floor, no insulation, no wiring, very minimal wiring. We did a big lean-to off the side here for the Wood-Mizers, the sawmills. And we had to get into the shop early on to be able to stay out of the winter. Up here in Idaho, it gets really cold in the winter, and we knew that we had to have a good place to work in the wintertime. So we got this building done as soon as we could, which I think was just 2 or 3 months into moving in up here. And man, it made all the difference in the world to have a good place to work. We were able to keep the business moving forward. So this side of the shop, none of this was here, obviously. These wood mills, these wood misers are essential to our operation. It's where we take logs, mill them into lumber. We also can take a big size timber, and if we had to mill 2 timbers, mill it into 2 timbers or mill it down, we can do it here. Sometimes the wood will start to twist a little on a bigger piece, and we'll bring it over here and true it up before we take it into our big CNC machine. This LT40, I did a video on it a couple years ago when I went to get it. We love it. It's awesome. It's a game changer. It's one of those tools that has made our job a lot easier and made it possible for us to do a lot of cool things. So fully hydraulic wood miser LT40, it's cool. We just saw this material over at the mill. We had to mill it up because we're taking it to Jackson Hole and doing some box beams around some steel, and so it'll look like a real beam, but it's not. What these girls are doing in the background is they're actually banding the material up, because there's still a lot of moisture in this material, and if you don't band it up, sometimes it'll want to move and walk on you a little until you get it installed. So we're just trying to mitigate any damages to that material as we ship it across the state. So okay, when we moved up here, there was nothing but field up behind me, and this was all open. We stored material here, obviously, but now we got this nice big building. It is a 80-foot by 100-foot still building. We built this still just because of fire issues, and people ask, why do you build these, they're cool buildings, but why do you build them out of steel and not wood? Well, the cost of wood would probably be a lot more decorative timber than the steel. You get a lot of bang for your money, and not that I'm trying to send you guys elsewhere for business. If you're going to build like a winery or a cool barn or something like that of that nature, yes, definitely do it fully timber framed and contact us for that project. But something like this where you're spanning 80 feet and you're carrying the loads you are with snow and everything, this just fit the bill. Okay, so here we have Waylon and Keith, and what they are doing to the materials after we run it, or right before we run it. We like to take our string sanders by Makita and go through the material to make it a little smoother. And what that does is it knocks off the real rough stuff so you don't get slivers, and it really can mess you up if you rub it going by the material. And then we're taking the grinder with a sand pad and just knocking the corners down. Sometimes you'll get a little blemish on the corners or different things on the material to make it ugly and undesirable. So we'll take the grinder and polish those out, make them look real nice before they get stained. And so it's kind of a labor of love to make that material look good, because it comes out looking good from the mill, but between here and the mill, something usually happens. The lumber guy will jab forks into it. Something will happen on the delivery. And so we want to make sure that the customer is getting a good product from BC Timbers. So when I moved up here, guys, I had a dream. I had a dream of having an awesome place to work out of, having a ton of room, and being able to grow this business. And part of that dream was this building right here behind me. It's an 80-foot by 100-foot shop, fully insulated, heated. This is the CNC shop. In fact, at the time, I didn't fully understand what I wanted or where I was going. I had a dream, and the CNC was definitely in that dream, just didn't know how soon or how long I was going to be able to achieve that. So we'll go look at it, check it out. We just recently bought a Technofast from Essetre in Italy, and we're still transitioning into a hand cut operation to a CNC operation. And as of right now, we love this machine and all that it does, and I'm very impressed with it. The customer service from the Essetre people in Italy has been great, and all that they've done to help us kind of learn and transition into the CNC world. There's a lot to it, and we have had to change a lot of things to be able to do what we're doing now, but we love it. Now, when I say we're going from hand cut to CNC, it doesn't mean that we are no longer doing hand cut stuff. We still do. In fact, a lot of the things we have to finish out hand cut with the CNC, and there are different projects like reclaimed and old wood that we won't necessarily throw on this brand new machine. It will we'll still do with our hand tools and cut it out with the, you know, all the old school tools and the Mafel hand tools that we love to use. So to be honest, the whole reason we went with the Essetre is because actually we have a lot of friends throughout the northern United States that actually have this machine, that are timber framers, and the rapport and information we were getting back from those friends that they really loved this machine. It was user friendly, and they've been having great success with this machine. The reason we went with CNC, or why we're doing CNC, is for an example, a front porch, truss, timbers, beams back to the house, and maybe a rear truss that's a little bigger with posts and beams back to the house. That project usually would take us about 2 weeks to hand cut. You know, from the start of designing, layout, hand cut, and then prepping the material, obviously stain, deliver, and install. You know, you're 2 and 2.5 weeks depending on the size of that job. Now we're able to pump that same job out in probably 2 or 3 days. So we're able to do more work, more quantity, and still keep our quality very high. Quality is most important to us, and happy customers. Also, we have a lot of people who are interested in our product, and a lot of times we were filling with the hand cut option. We weren't able to get to all the jobs that were coming our way, and so this is a good way to enable us to do more for more people that surround us and that we are involved with. So we're excited that you, as a customer, a friend, family member, have the opportunity to have one of these pieces, these timber frames, because it speaks volumes and it goes on for a long time. Like I said, these particular projects last hundreds and hundreds of years if you take care of them. So guys, now that you've seen where we've been and what we've done and accomplished in the last 2 years, we are super excited for what lies ahead, and we've got a lot of other things that are on our vision board and that we are dreaming about and wanting to accomplish. And like I said, a lot has to do with you, our fan base, and our customers, and we are excited to continue to work with you guys. Please know this, we are going to try very hard, and if you talk to my good buddy Trav, he'd smack me for saying try, so I'm not going to say try. We're going to do more videos, guys, so stay tuned. We want to take the YouTube thing back I'd say 2 times a month. So we're gonna produce some more videos where you guys can see some cool things. And we are excited. Are you excited? We are excited. So stay tuned for more awesome projects. Like I say, we have a lot of things in the works, and the sky's the limit. We now realize that we can do a lot more cool things with the tools that we have and the things that we want to do. So please, if you guys are interested in any one of our projects, know that we will do just about anything when it has to do with timber frames, tree houses, live edge slabs, signs. Please reach out. info@bctimbers.com. And my number is always posted if you want to contact me direct. Antone Burbage, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.